Alright guys, so earlier I showed you the pan for the back, and now I just basically dropped everything and took a YouTube hack because of the simplicity of it. An air hammer. In this case I have one that has I don't know what you would call it, a flow restrictor, okay, that goes to 0. So it's a restrictor flow, but I have this on my regulator on the wall, so I can do a pressure adjustment and get this dialed in, so then I can just turn this and adjust the flow as I see fit, you know, for the hammering. But my primary pressure coming to it, you know, slow it down or apply less force. This piece of 1/2-inch stainless 3/16 washer welded to a cutoff tool for the air hammer, and basically lined these things up and then got the surface. I'm practicing on a piece and it's working quite well. This piece I just bent over that piece of angle iron, holding it down with my hand and smacking it with a hammer. I just wanted to have a crease and follow it. At this point I saw witness marks down the back side, and that winds up being the corners of this. So now I'll come in and I'll radius this out. I made this removable so I could insert different types of pieces. Don't know what they'll look like yet, and but you know, I can imagine a crown so that I can create different profiles. But at this point I just threw this together and did a test piece, and I like it. I think I need to come in and dress these corners up, but first I need to take care of that. Anyway, that's what I've been doing so far. Ice moving. I'm going to go long fast and now so we blend everything. Coming out of it. It looks a little better. Yeah, it's still got a little bit of a need.
I think, I mean, you're going to feather the whole thing, or?
Yeah,
around the whole thing?
It's going to be.
Well, you got to show.
And because it'll be you always want to show the corners like this, not straight on. Yeah. You want to introduce them like this so nobody puts it in slow motion. Okay, I got that rear panel now. You know, with everything. Yeah. Every time I do a video, I start coughing. But that's tightened up. She bends under to keep that message going across there. Like anything else, you know, nothing's done. I got a plug welded onto here. Goes up. It goes farther up. It's gapped out a little bit there. Okay. So there should be a little bit of a little finesse. Not a lot of finesse. Obviously, you can see that, but then I stand back now that it's on. And I say, God, it's a canvas right there. What am I going to do with that canvas? Of course, you know, a license plate could fill it in there. I don't know yet. Anyway, my mission is to get this part of it wrapped up, right? To get the back and get those tied in. So just thought I'd give you an update. We took that to the brake. A buddy of mine has it's a 14-foot brake, but I mean, the piece of pipe that I used to roll it, slit that piece of pipe down the length, just with a cutoff wheel, the width of the top die, popped it on the top die, put a 4-inch, he had a 4-inch bottom die, V, the span was 4 inches, and then we laid in a piece of, it's just nylon, probably 1/2 inch thick nylon, maybe a 6-foot piece, but certainly longer than that. Laid it on there, and then he pressed into that nylon, so it just kept some tension as it spread around that sheet metal into the tube. And so I got the radius out of it, and then went just a standard run-of-the-mill, in this case 100-degree up, or 100-degree open, 80 degrees up on the bottom. And in this view, it would be down because it's going with carpet, so that it'll shed water, right? And in line with the fenders. So, woohoo! Oh my. Oh my. Anyway, plug welded both sides. And then perimeter welded and cooled as I went. So now I'll grind all this down, radius this, re-straighten out this edge, and then do the same thing over here. You can kind of have a look-see, and so, okay, that locates it into, sorry guys, I turned the lights off because I'm headed in to the rear fenders and through the bracket. Well, you can see the step there. So it's a sandwich. Those posts are slightly shorter than the rear fender. The posts on that are slightly shorter, very slightly. In fact, I had to build this one up with fiberglass because it's fiberglass. This and this, that fender needed to come up, and I built that thickness up. So he sets across the pads. I'll probably have to do a little working on the corners to make sure she's dead straight. It doesn't appear to, we're looking at this. It doesn't appear to have warped. So we'll pull all that out of it, but I'll get in tomorrow and dress all this down to this surface again. It's not that terrible. It's not going to be a terrible job. And then clean these sides up, and of course clean the top side. whip her down with 80 grit, and then that guy should be ready to go, and then I can go on to these guys, getting these guys on. So it's been a day, good day. Have a good day. All right, I finished the bottom one to the profile of the body, and then I took the top one and I'm copying the bottom one. All this gets radiused. You can see one of them I planished a little bit, you know, where that one's a little flatter, to get ready for that bead. I need to come in here and planish this because you can see on the light that radius isn't, she gets wide right there and that kind of thing. I'll get that all buffed out. But the profile sticks, the last 6 or so inches of this is getting cut off, so I didn't focus on trying to get that all perfect. You can see it's got a slow radius that way. It's got a taper that way. Copies well. Again, I just finished shrinking it, and I haven't planished them, so you can see some light gaps, but I'm not overly worried about that kind of stuff. That's pretty relatively easy to get out of there. But it'll copy over well, and got to get ready for the fun work, getting that thing dialed into the rear body. So that's coming. All right, I blended them in. You can see the weld right there. You know, a couple of sunken in spots. Got it across the top. Okay, radiused it. Obviously I got some work to do on the fender, but I tapped the bottom. I tapped the bottom out. Had a low spot right in here. Tapped him out. And then just kept welding. And I might need to go in there and grind it some more. Looks like he got a little bit of a rise right here. But after it's blocked out, it'll turn out real nice. You can see it comes down and then it kicks right here. And on the fender, it does the same thing. It comes down and then it kicks where the fender mounts to the car, and then it kicks to go to the pan. That was that fiberglass work that I had done on those fenders. Again, 33 fenders on a 1930 Dodge. And at this point, I'm working my way down the top side, but I did get the inner fender done on all this. So that's all done down to just to right here. Now I'll need to close out some of this. I got this runs wider, so I'll have to bridge it with weld. No, I'll have to put a strip in there and then grind it. But I want to get the body off the car when I do the bottom. So I'll get the top done. I can get everything, mocked in and that kind of thing. But there's basically the look. I mean, I know that's not up close, and when you weld it, pulled a little, because it shrinks, but it pushes right in. I got those magnets sitting there. But so that's the profile, and that's the sweep. There you go. There's a light line on it. So it's coming along. Coming along good. Oh, trying to stand up. Keep on plugging away. All right. One side is on. Continuously welded. Again, as I mentioned, I still have to do the bottom, but that's after I get the other side on and get the body up. The pan on this, so that little, I didn't explain, that little shelf right there, that gap there gets smaller over here. It's just kind of a triangle. So that height right there matches the fender where it radiuses around. And so I took time yesterday just flattening that pan by shrinking, strategically shrinking and flattening. And here, that needs to just a little bit of, I'm going to put in it. It'll shed water toward the center, but I got to put that in so I match the height where this fender intersects. It's kind of a goofy deal because there must have been pressure, some sort of requirement for some pressure on the original, but it slopes. It has a little dish on the ends here to follow the profile of the fender. Yeah, you can't, maybe you can catch that, but there's a little bit of a very gentle, and then it swoops up here. So I'll have to just stretch the bead or the brake on that side just a little bit. But at this point, it's all shimmed, to the height that it would sit on the fender. I just measured the thickness of the fiberglass on both sides and shimmed it. And then when I put the other side on, then I'll come back and disassemble the whole thing. Now remember, these bolts unscrew from the bottom, so that just slides out from underneath there. Some of you might have been thinking, now you got it covered up, how are you going to lift it off. It needs to slide back and up and clear the fill, which is underneath that piece of trim right now. But and it does. So thanks, guys. Hey, guys. I'm still grinding, but working on the bottom side. But I got it continuously welded. I actually had to put a strip in here. I thought I was over too wide, but I wasn't. I was, oh, not even 1/4 of an inch. So I put a very narrow strip in there. And then just finishing up the grinding, and then I'll get the pan fitment established, and probably throw the fenders on, see what it looks like. I'll have to take the body off to, again, like I mentioned earlier, to weld the bottom. But I'm very happy with it. Profile, I can't get that far back, but it's got a very nice profile. We are making progress.